Um, so it's been a while since I have made a video about this. I've wanted to many times. It is now close to 500 days that my the mother of my children, um, Megan Lowe, has actively tried to keep me away from my children, Wilder and Wave. It's been about 450 days since I have seen my children, since I've seen Wilder and Wave, and it's been about 400 days since I last spoke to Wilder when he called me from his friend's phone. um, I think close to the last day of school, June of 2025. He had a mark on his forehead. I asked him what happened to his head. He said his mother pushed his head into the ground. That was the last time I spoke to my son, almost 400 days ago. No child deserves to go without the love of a loving father. No child deserves that. For however of a horrible, bad person my ex thinks that I am, I love my children and they love me, and I have never done anything to harm them, to hurt them intentionally. And we have a special bond, or we did. No child deserves to go through that trauma. It saddens me to know, it saddens me to think about the pain and the lack of love that my ex received growing up as a child. Not having her own father, not ever meeting her own father. Mother was in and out of her life, alcoholic, suicidal. She was raised by her grandmother. But it saddens me to know or to think about the level of pain that she must be in, or the amount of trauma that she has gone through to now put her own children through that very same thing, to repeat the pattern and repeat the cycle. Not only has she kept her own children from a loving father, but she's also kept them from their family. My family has reached out through emails, through constant effort to try to contact the kids on times when the family gets together. You know, all of their cousins, the majority, 90% of their cousins and family are here in Utah, in the United States. And she has completely cut those ties, those family ties, those important, essential family bonds that children need. She has completely cut that one. The last time my brother sent an email asking if his girls, who are around Wilder and Wave's age, could talk to the children, her email response was, "You don't have permission to email me." It truly is so sad to think of a mother doing this to her children, putting her children through this type of trauma and abuse. I sent an email to her several weeks ago about Father's Day. Father's Day is coming up. Can I speak to my kids? Can I see my kids? I got a email from her attorney, from her lawyer, saying to stop emailing her. On Father's Day. For a mother to not even allow her children to speak to their dad on Father's Day. Just imagine growing up, becoming a teenager, becoming an adult, looking back and thinking, my mom didn't let me talk to my dad on Father's Day. Like, the amount of damage that is doing to these poor, innocent young children is truly heartbreaking. Again, I over the years have felt a lot of anger for my ex, for what she's done. Um, Basically stealing the children from their home in Utah, taking them to Canada and keeping them there, and then fighting to keep me away from their children. It obviously at first angered me a lot, and um, I didn't take it the right way, as any loving father would. But now it has completely turned into like a sadness for her family, to do that to kids, to take away love of my family, of me. I just remember our last time together. We were in March break. We had so much fun. We went tubing in the snow. We went swimming. We spent time with family. We did so much. Um, we played games in the house. I always make up these little games for them, and they love it, like these little challenges and games. I remember one we did where I drew something on a piece of paper, and then they, and then I put up, each individual had their own piece of paper, like across the room, and then they had to um, duplicate my drawing on there. So they had to like look as best as they could, and then they had to go and run and draw it, and it was like a race. So Wilder and Wave were like racing to do this drawing, and poor Wave, she, Wilder's a really good drawer, but poor Wave, but she did her best, and she was, it was such a fun thing, and they loved it, and we did so many fun little games, and I love my children. I love spending time and teaching them and learning how to be a better dad, and just giving them so much love and everything that they deserve, and preparing them to be loving, responsible, caring, kind people in this world. And that's all I've ever asked of her, is that we can just be good examples to our kids, and put whatever our troubles are from whatever the past or whatever behind us, and just do what's best for our children. Give them the example of what it is to um, be kind, to be loving, um, um, to show that parents can work together to do what's best for these young humans, you know. But she's refused. Refused to even make an attempt. And this has been years of me trying to make it work for the children. Um, but yeah, I just remember the fun times we had last March break. We always have so much fun, and it has turned into, my anger and pain has now just turned into like a sadness for her, for my ex. For someone to be in that much pain and hurt themselves, that they are doing this to their children. It shows that she must have gone through a childhood, a life that I don't wish on anybody. And for that, I truly am sorry for how she grew up, the experiences that she had, and she's told me some of them, but I'm sure I don't know all of them. But to do this to your kids and to truly abuse and put on so much trauma, additional trauma. The statistics are there. You don't have to be a genius. You don't have to do research to know that kids that grow up being kept from another parent, kids that grow up without their father, are immensely more likely to get into um, addiction, get into trouble, have, um, you know, the list goes on and on of the trouble that this causes for young kids. Kids are not designed, they're not meant to just have to be kept from a parent, especially one that is just offering love and a desire to be a dad. And so it really just saddens me. I can go through it because I've gone through a lot in my life, and I've gone through the worst already of having my kids taken from me. But every day it hurts those children more and more and more. And I can take it because I'm stronger and I'm an adult, and I understand that they will grow, and they will one day see everything that had happened, and they will learn what their mother did. But every day that goes on, they must lay in bed and just wonder, like, why can't I see my dad? Where's my dad? Why can't I call my dad? Why does my mom say that if I contact him, I'm going to get grounded for 500 years? I love my dad. Why can I see him? And just lay there in bed and just wonder, like, what is going on? Why does my mom talk bad about my dad or this or that? And so I can get through this, but I just feel for my kids. No child deserves this. For a parent to take their own hurt and pain and ego and trauma that they've suffered in their life and pass that along and recycle it to the children. Sadly, the court system is no help, especially in Canada. It is a very slow, very backed up, very upside down, twisted system, similar to what Canadian government is. The Canadian government is meant to keep people down here. It's not set up, it's not meant to elevate people to be their best selves, to become, financially successful, to be the best that they can. It's not. The government of Canada is set up to control everybody so that people depend on the government, and that way they can keep them down here. And that's similar to the court system. They're not empowering anybody. They're putting these children in the hands of a mother who admittedly in court has said suffers from mental illness, along with police records and documents that I have presented to the court showing mental illness, um, domestic abuse, domestic violence, history of all of this within the family, not just with my ex, but within her family. History, years of court and in and out of court and this and that. And so for a judge to see all that, ignore it, and then say, yeah, I think it's within the best interest of the kids that this mother, who is not a bad person, who is not a bad mother, but clearly needs help, clearly suffers in many ways, then in many ways. For a judge to say, yeah, this parent should be making all the decisions. This parent is in the right state of mind to do all this. Well, that just goes along very well with the Canadian um, system. And that is why you can see Canada is in the position. Canada is in the position that it is. This stopped working. Canada is a sinking ship. And it's because of this. Judges like Cindy Cormier from the Nova Scotia Family Court who are doing things like this, who currently right now I'm in an appeal for my case because of her recent judgment to cut all contact, which is absolutely absurd, which is absolutely insane, right? But it goes to show you how upside down this system is. This Judge Cindy Cormier from the Nova Scotia Court, also has many other people who have been appealing and going against her rulings because she has no idea how to make good decisions for families. And I've had many families reach out to me telling me the same thing, that she is absolutely horrible at putting the interest of the children first. And she's really incompetent and has no business making these decisions. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, it's very hard to get rid of judges, but maybe after a few of these appeals that get overturned, maybe somebody will wake up in the Nova Scotia court and, So that's where we're at. I'm in an appeal case. It's extremely expensive. I am working to pay for all of the fees and everything that I have to do. It's slow. It's expensive. But I want my children to know that I will never, ever give up on you, and that one day, things will be different. I believe that. I know that. And I no longer have anger for my ex. I just have sadness for her. To be able to do something like this to her own children and to hold that herself, it must be a feeling, a very heavy feeling to hold that on, hold that hate, hold that type of negativity. So I'm very sad for her, but I want my children to know that I love them. I will never give up on you. One day they will be aware of everything that has happened and know that they were kept from their family, they were kept from their dad, and that I've been trying to do everything possible. I've written countless emails and letters to Megan, pleading with her to end all of this. Asking her, what does she want? Does she want to continue this fight, for 15 years more? I truly don't understand what her thought process is, because me as a dad, I'm never going to stop fighting for my kids. And so unless she can make a decision to put the kids' interest first and do what's best for them, it's going to be a constant battle for the next 15 years. Like, who wants to do that? Who wants to be fighting for 15 years? These poor kids are going to grow up thinking that this is a normal thing to be fighting back and forth with. I don't want my kids to see that. I don't want my kids to know, to experience that. And I just don't understand how she wants that for the kids. She wants the kids to grow up without a father. It's completely mind-blowing to me. But again, it all goes back to how she was raised, how she grew up without a father. And it's just that cycle. So we are on our way. We are doing the appeal process. I have full confidence that having someone else look at this case besides horrible Judge Cindy Cormier, that hopefully out of however many people are on the Court of Appeal panel, hopefully some have a little bit of common sense, have a little bit of brains to see the documents, to see what's going on here, to see the alienation, to see how I have been completely alienated and kept from these poor children. Even with the domestic abuse, the mental illness, the police reports, you know. So that is my faith and my hope, that this Court of Appeal panel will expose the twisted there's no really other word for it, but like satanic judgment that this Cormier has put on these children, has put on our family. It has not been good. And so I have faith in God that everything up to now has happened for something, and praying that my kids will come out better, that everyone will come out better. I pray that one day my ex, Megan, will see the damage that she is doing and the abuse that she is doing, and want something better for her kids, for her life, for the family. I truly want something better for my kids. I don't want this for my kids, this life. Even though I have gone through the pain and the anger of what she did, taking the kids from me, I forgive her. I have no bad feelings towards her besides my sadness for her. And I hope that one day she can also feel that and want something better for herself and for our kids, because they deserve better. Wilder and Wave, you deserve better. I love you guys. I most likely won't be with you or get to talk to you on Father's Day this coming weekend. And it will break my heart that my children, that you guys don't get to talk to your father on Father's Day because of a mother's hate and anger in her heart. But just know that I forgive her, that she is doing the only thing that she knows how to do, the only thing that she learned to do growing up. She didn't learn about family. She didn't learn about love, about a father's love. And so she's doing the only thing she knows. And so one day when you do find out and learn and know everything that she did, I hope that you can also forgive her. I know it won't be easy for the time that we've missed, for the time that we have missed being together, because our time is always amazing together. We have so much fun. And so I know it won't be easy to forgive her, but just know that I have. And I know that you guys will be able to one day as well. Love you guys. God lives. He is our Father. He's watching over us, taking care of us. He's aware of us. And if we turn to Him in our troubled times, in our hard times, when we feel sad, lonely, when we feel like there's no hope, He is there. God is there. I love you guys.